weapons expert, communications expert, medical expert, intelligence expert, and leadership. My teammates had done previous tours in Afghanistan, so the brotherhood they'd formed and the bonding they'd done was something that I hadn't been a part of. I was aware that I was an outsider trying to fit in with a bunch of battle-hardened Green Berets, since I hadn't proven myself in combat with them. Finding my place wouldn't be quick or easy. I didn't have to wait long to get out into the field. From Bagram, we made a few brief stops on our way to southern Afghanistan until we reached our home for the next 6 to 9 months of our tour. Forward Operating Base, FOB, or Tiaz. FOB Tiaz was a large, comfortable base with the requisite security walls. The Dutch had a fire base adjacent to ours, which meant we were not alone, and the Dutch soldiers turned out to be good neighbors. The base was located in Uruzgan province, so we were right in the thick of the fight. Like most places in Afghanistan, we were surrounded by towering mountains that gave way to dry desert in the valley below, where FOB Tiaz was. We were a short drive away from the Helmand River, which was a lifeline for farming and producing huge marijuana plants, another cash crop. FOB Tiaz had what every Green Beret knows is as important as water on a hot day, a good-sized gym. We didn't have to have anything fancy, but there were appearances to keep up, and no one likes a flabby Green Beret. Staying buff was the first of 3 rules that were taught to me while going through training. The 3 rules were: Number 1, always look cool. Number 2, don't fuck up. Number 3, if you fuck up, look cool doing it. We didn't spend much time at the FOB. Instead, we pushed out to a location along the Helmand River, just across the provincial border of Uruzgan and Helmand provinces. This position was pivotal to keeping the pressure on Taliban fighters operating along the Helmand River, which ran north to south through the Kutu Valley. Our U.S. outpost was the best location for cultivating the Taliban's drug crops. Constant pressure was the name of the game in the fight against the Taliban. The pressure not only came in the form of U.S. Special Forces troops on the ground, but a relatively new strategy to the War on Terror: Village Stability Operations, or VSO. Up to this point, the Taliban had control of the farmlands and rural villages where they could freely bring the fight to us. VSO missions would be an attempt to disrupt the Taliban's freedom of movement around the countryside and deny them safe haven, which was where Special Forces fit in perfectly. Winning hearts and minds was a Special Forces soldier's bread and butter. We trained for it, and, for the most part, we believed in this mission. When summer was coming to a close, my team, along with other detachments from our company, was tasked with entering the Kutu Valley from different locations and clearing out the Taliban to a central point, which would send the bastards running for the mountains. Working against us, however, was the fact that this was not a covert mission. Everyone up and down the valley knew we would be coming, which gave the Taliban ample time to place IEDs and prepare for us. Finally, it was time to push into the valley. We were ready to take the fight to the enemy and not just hold ground. One of the major concerns, besides IEDs and small arms fire from Taliban fighters, was the Helmand River. Our compound was located on the western side of the river, and the villages we planned to clear were on the eastern side. As the 18C engineer, it fell on my shoulders to figure out a way to move men, weapons, and equipment across the headwaters of Afghanistan's longest river, which began in the Hindu Kush Mountains, to where we were staging our mission. In the bottom of the valley, the fast-flowing Helmand was probably 20 meters wide. To ford the river, I had at my disposal a Zodiac inflatable rubber raft, protective pieces of large styrofoam blocks, and lots of lumber. I figured I would MacGyver something up. I constructed a ramp and a platform system that would ride on top of the raft and use the styrofoam to prevent the lumber from puncturing the rubber fabric. The platform atop the raft was designed to safely transport our gear, ATVs, and personnel during multiple trips across the river. The current was swift, and any mistake could lead to drowning or being swept away and landing in the hands of the Taliban farther downriver. When the word was given, we set out for the Helmand River late in the afternoon of September 11, 2010. An auspicious date for sure. I was crazy nervous because if I failed, it would be all on the new guy. The plan was to cross the river with the ATV and equipment first, then return for the next load. When we arrived at the Helmand, it was the moment of truth. Time to find out if I knew.